They were laughed at, counted out, forgotten, told they weren't good enough, smart enough, strong enough. But in the silence of defeat, in the loneliness of doubt, something inside them refused to break. A whisper turned into a roar. A vision took root, not in the world outside, but in the mind. And that's where everything changed. Because winners don't wait for the world to believe in them. They decide. They see beyond the noise, beyond rejection, beyond fear. When others see failure, they see foundation. When others give up, they dig deeper. Well, their secret isn't in talent or luck or the perfect moment. It's in how they think. A thought becomes a belief. A belief becomes a habit. And a habit becomes a destiny. No one else saw coming. They don't chase success. They become it. Quietly, relentlessly, day by day, thought by thought, battle by battle. This isn't motivation. It's mental warfare. It's the blueprint of champions. And if you want to rise, truly rise, you must think like the ones who already did. This is how winners think. Winners think failure is feedback, not finality. They focus only on what they can control, their thoughts and actions. Winners build unshakable belief before they ever see results. They turn adversity into fuel, not fear. Winners think in terms of purpose, not problems. Winners see failure as feedback, not finality. This mindset separates them from the masses. Where most people see a dead end, winners see a detour. When something doesn't work out, they don't internalize it as defeat. They analyze it. They step back, reflect, adjust, and go again with sharper clarity. Every setback is a signal, every mistake a message. They don't cry over spilled effort. They study it, they mine it, and they rise from it. Failure to them is not the opposite of success. It's a stepping stone toward it. They know that no great achievement was ever made without stumbling, without struggle, without the bitter taste of a plan gone wrong. But instead of running from that pain, they embrace it. They understand that in the ashes of failure lie the lessons that no book, no mentor, and no victory could ever teach them. They know pain sharpens purpose, and rejection strengthens resilience. So when the world says, "You failed," they whisper back, "I learned." They whisper back, "I learned." This is not just optimism. It's mental discipline. A deliberate decision to extract growth from the darkest places. Winners have trained their minds to flip the script. Where most people see embarrassment or shame, they see a clue. A clue that points to what needs to change, who it needs to improve. They become students of failure, constantly seeking understanding, never wasting a mistake. They realize the only true failure is refusing to try again with more wisdom. They don't dwell on losses, they decode them, they write them down, break them down, break them apart, and use them as blueprints. Every missed opportunity becomes an instruction. Every rejection becomes redirection. Instead of feeling sorry for themselves, they get curious. They ask better questions. What went wrong? What can I do better? What did this reveal about my habits, my thinking, my choices? They turn disappointment into data, and data into decisions. There's no room for victimhood in a winner's mind. They don't blame circumstances, people, or timing. They look inward and take full ownership. Even if it wasn't their fault, they ask, "What could I have done differently?" Not because they enjoy guilt, but because they crave growth. This mindset makes them unstoppable. They treat failure as an investment. Every fall is a deposit into the account of future greatness. They know they're not failing, they're refining. This way of thinking turns obstacles into openings. What others call setbacks, winners call setups. They understand that each no can bring them one step closer to a powerful yes if they don't quit. The pain they feel today is the price they pay for the strength they'll have tomorrow. So they keep walking. Even when it hurts, even when they're alone, even when the world watches and waits for them to collapse, because they know something the world forgot. Failure is not the end. It's the beginning of a better version of themselves. They focus only on what they can control, their thoughts and actions. While most people are busy worrying about things outside their influence, winners channel their energy inward. They understand that the world is full of uncertainty, chaos, and distractions, but their power lies in mastering their own mind. They don't waste time complaining about the economy, the weather, or other people's opinions. They've trained themselves to concentrate on the one thing no one else can touch, their response. This mindset gives them clarity. Instead of reacting emotionally to every challenge, they pause, think, and respond with purpose. Their thoughts are not scattered. They are selected. They wake up each day and choose the thoughts that serve their mission. Doubt may knock at the door, but they don't let it in. Fear might whisper, but they don't listen. They guard their minds like warriors because they know that every result in their life starts from a single thought. And thoughts become beliefs. Beliefs become behavior. And behavior becomes destiny. Winners have learned that they don't have to control the world, they just have to control their focus. While others drift through life, victims of circumstance, winners take full accountability. They don't chase outcomes, they commit to the process. They don't wait for motivation, they create discipline. They don't try to predict the future, they prepare for it by owning the present. They understand that their actions are the seeds, and the harvest always belongs to the one who sows with consistency. This belief is not loud or boastful. It's quiet, steady, internal. It's the voice that says, keep going, when every external voice says, give up. It's the decision to see themselves as worthy, capable, and chosen, even when the mirror reflects exhaustion, even when the results scream failure. They don't depend on circumstances to validate their identity. They build it from within, brick by brick, thought by thought. They speak it until it becomes real. They live it until the world has no choice but to acknowledge it. Every day, they feed this belief. Through discipline, through repetition, through visualization, through affirmations whispered in early mornings and late nights, they write it down. They breathe it in. They protect it from the noise of negativity, from the opinions of the mediocre, from the fears of the past. They don't allow the outside world to define what's possible. They define it for themselves, then rise to meet it. This kind of belief doesn't come from books or motivation videos. It comes from choosing faith over fear again and again. It's forged in trials. It's earned through resistance. When they fall, they don't question their value. When they fail, they don't doubt their potential. They see the gap between who they are and who they're becoming. And instead of shrinking in shame, they expand in belief. They don't interpret struggle as weakness. They interpret it as growth. It is growth. They believe that the person they are becoming is stronger than the pain they are facing. They walk with a quiet confidence that confuses the world. They may not have the title, the status, or the applause, but they carry themselves like someone who knows exactly where they're going. They shake hands with their future every morning, and they move through the day with intention. That belief becomes their compass. It guides their choices. It fuels their habits. It drowns out the noise of distractions and despair. This belief is not perfection. It's persistence. It allows them to be bold in moments of uncertainty, to try again after falling short, to keep moving when the outcome is unclear. It keeps them grounded when they win and lifted when they lose. And because it lives so deep in their core, no external event can shake it loose. It is not attached to applause. It is not tied to timelines. It's built on the foundation of purpose. They see themselves succeeding long before anyone else does. They hold the vision when no one else can see it. And they act in alignment with that vision daily. Their belief isn't based on conditions. It's based on a decision. A decision to trust themselves, to bet on their growth, and to move forward regardless of what the world thinks. This belief becomes the armor they wear into battle and the fire that fuels their journey. They turn adversity into fuel, not fear. When life hits hard, most people freeze, retreat, or break down. Winners don't. They take that pain, that rejection, that loss, and use it as a source of energy. They don't see adversity as something to run from. It's something they run toward. They understand that struggle is not a sign of failure. It's the raw material for transformation. It's where character is tested, where resilience is born, and where true grit reveals itself. So winners do not romanticize the journey. They know it's not meant to be easy. They expect resistance. They know storms will come. And when they do, they don't ask, "Oh, why me?" They ask, "What now?" The pressure doesn't break them. It forges them. They use every hardship as a mirror, reflecting what needs to grow, what needs to evolve. They don't collapse under weight. They build strength under it. They don't avoid the fire. They walk through it and come out more focused, more powerful, more alive. Pain is not something they fear. It's something they understand. They've made peace with discomfort. They've learned that growth doesn't happen in comfort zones. It happens in the places that stretch the soul, that challenge the will, that demand everything inside. When adversity knocks, they don't curse it. They study it. They ask better questions. What is this teaching me? How can I use this? How will this shape me into someone stronger, wiser, and more prepared for what's ahead? Adversity is their personal trainer. It breaks down the weak parts to rebuild the unbreakable ones. It strips away the surface to reveal the core. Winners embrace this process. They know the struggle is not punishment, it's preparation. They realize that every obstacle is an invitation to rise. Every setback is a setup for deeper resilience. While others are paralyzed by pain, they are empowered by it. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They build greatness in the middle of chaos. They have developed emotional muscle. When things don't go their way, they don't collapse into frustration. They breathe. They focus. They adapt. They know that adversity brings clarity. It shows them what truly matters. It sharpens their focus, eliminates distractions, and forces them to make hard decisions. They rise because they refuse to let pain define them. Instead, they allow it to refine them. They have scars, but they wear them like medals. Each one tells a story of getting back up, of continuing when others stopped, of finding strength in seasons of scarcity, of believing when belief felt impossible. The world may see only the success, but they know the weight behind it, the nights of doubt, the years of grind, the inner battles no one clapped for. And they wouldn't trade it, because that adversity didn't destroy them. It revealed them. They are not driven by the absence of struggle. They are driven by their ability to rise through it. Adversity didn't derail them. It defined them. It became the reason they grew deeper roots, built stronger foundations, and developed a level of emotional armor that nothing could pierce. They know life won't hand them easy paths, but it will hand them powerful choices. And in every moment of adversity, they choose to stand tall, to push forward, and to keep their fire alive in the darkest hours. Winners think in terms of purpose, not problems. While others get trapped in the weight of circumstances, overwhelmed by what's going wrong, winners lift their eyes to what they're living for. They don't deny problems exist, but they refuse to be defined by them. Every challenge is filtered through the lens of meaning. They ask deeper questions. Oh, why am I here? What is this moment asking of me? What am I being called to become through this situation? This mindset doesn't erase the hardship. It gives it context. It transforms suffering into service, setbacks into significance. They know that without purpose, life becomes reactive, distracted, and shallow. But with purpose, even pain can feel like part of the path. Winners wake up each day with intention. They know where they're going, even if the route isn't clear yet. That sense of mission gives them endurance when motivation fades. It gives them clarity when the noise is loud. It gives them strength when the body is tired and the heart is weary. Purpose becomes the compass, the anchor, and the fire that keeps burning when everything else feels cold. They don't chase pleasure, they pursue fulfillment. They don't live to escape, they live to build. That purpose drives their decisions. It's in how they spend their time, how they treat people, how they handle setbacks. When others give up because it's hard, winners hold on because it matters. They see the long game. They think generationally. They want to leave something behind, not just accumulate something for themselves. Their minds are trained to look for contribution, not comfort. Problems will always come, but winners don't allow those problems to shrink their spirit. They don't get caught in the web of worry or the spiral of stress. They step back, breathe, and remember the mission. They know storms don't last, but purpose does. So when life gets complicated, they simplify their thoughts by returning to their oh why. That oh why becomes their power. It helps them make peace with pressure. It reminds them of who they are and who they refuse to become. They don't waste energy on drama or distractions. They protect their focus like a sacred flame. They understand the difference between being busy and being effective. Every action is measured against a deeper aim. Is this moving me closer to my purpose or pulling me away from it? That question guides their path like a compass through the fog. It helps them say no without guilt, walk away from things that don't align, and endure things that do. Purpose gives their mind resilience. When they fall, they rise not just for themselves, but for something bigger. They don't need constant rewards or approval because they're not working for applause. They're working for impact. They think about the lives they want to touch, the example they want to set, the story they want to write with their days. That perspective shifts everything. Problems become puzzles. Delays become lessons. Failure becomes fuel. They've trained themselves to look for opportunity inside of obstacles. They've developed a mindset that doesn't just cope, it creates. They build when others break. They rise when others retreat. And it's not because life is easier for them. It's because their minds are anchored to something unshakable. That purpose silences fear. It drowns out doubt. It focuses their energy and sharpens their vision. They don't get lost in confusion. They rise through it with conviction.